We have two Saturday chefs in today, Ernesto Gomez and Martin Vargas from Fayuca in Yaletown. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you for having us.
So not only were we talking about your restaurant, but we're talking about this Mexican pop-up market that's happening next weekend. Maybe we'll start by starting to cook. First, what are you making for us today?
Well, we're making this dish that I think kind of represents a bit of what we do at Fayuca. It's also a dish that we're going to be making at the market. And it's based on a very traditional Mexican dish, which is a ceviche. And it also incorporates some of the Pacific kind of techniques that we use, which is an aguachile. But this is kind of like a North Pacific aguachile. So
there's a lot of ingredients to this.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I guess the first part we're doing. This is a beet ceviche. We're doing a vegan dish, and yeah, maybe you want to.
Yeah. So basically, the first part of the recipe is getting the whole beets, golden beets. We're getting our beets from Soul Food Farms in Vancouver, so they're really nice. And it's pretty easy, actually. You just have to put them on a tray, get a little bit of olive oil, like enough, and a pinch of salt. It's as easy as that.
Yeah. That's it? You're not cutting them up or anything? Just throwing them in?
For the first part, you only have to roast them.
Yep.
So we're going to put them on a tray and just cover it with tin foil. We're going to bake these for around an hour, so pretty long, at 350 Fahrenheit. And what we're going to get, it's this, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So like pretty dark roasted with a little bit of char. We're going to clean them. And what we're going to get, it's basically this ones. Like really bright, colorful yellow beets.
So don't peel them before you roast them?
No, not really. You want to peel them afterwards. Actually pretty easy. You can.
You just threw them in. You didn't have to wash them. Just chuck them in, right?
Yeah, you just kind of chuck them in.
Right.
Over rinse.
It's the technical term.
That's an industry term, yes.
Yeah, the whole, funny, the whole market project started in Fayuca because it didn't start in Fayuca. We were, we opened a few months ago, 4.5 months ago, and the head of Tourism Mexico from Western Canada, Rodrigo Diaz, he went to the restaurant, and one day we were just talking casually, and we were talking, and I was kind of mentioning our passion for markets, because this is where everything starts. We start all our thought process, recipes, everything start with the actual markets and with the products we can find.
You find yourself just walking through markets and going, that would fit with that, that might fit with that?
Well, it's more like you're trying to go with the flow of the season. So definitely in the markets, it's where everything starts, and we come from a culture where markets are, they've been there for thousands of years, so markets are where people exchange ideas and where people congregate, and it's been trading thing for years. So we start our menus seeing what's coming up from the ground and where we're going with that. And here what we do at Fayuca, we start with our journey in the North Pacific of Mexico, and we try to express this kind of relationships along the Pacific from the Baja to British Columbia. So for us, being here and working with urban farmers like Soul Foods and many of the other local farms that we work with, gives our food a new direction, and kind of we start with our, basic techniques in the case of each, and then go to, incorporate other elements, as you'll see. The market project, as I was speaking with Rodrigo when we were speaking about markets, he kind of said, Mexico Tourism had this project in which they basically wanted to show that there's more to Mexico than just beaches and resorts and touristic destinations. There's the real Mexico starts in markets, and they wanted to kind of like share and expand upon that idea. And when we were talking about this, well, they just hit me right in the. We were talking about this, and it's for me, markets have been a passion since I left Mexico. 15 years or 20 years ago, no, what, 17 years.
So taking that passion that you have for the market, bringing it to Vancouver, bringing it to your restaurant as well, a beet ceviche. So with the roasted beets, where do you go from there?
Well, Yeah, well, ceviche usually it's usually a mix of it usually has a mix of different vegetables and herbs usually cilantro, onions, chilies in a case. So maybe you want to.
Yeah, we have everything set up for now. So the first part, basically with this roasted ceviche, we have a little bit more. So we're gonna mix the roasted beets. We're gonna mix cucumber, just diced cucumber. Good spoonful. Diced tomato. We're gonna mix a little bit of onion, just raw onion. We're gonna dice a little bit of the cilantro that we have here, just to add some freshness.
Do you find that you're able to find all of the fruits and vegetables that you would typically use in Mexico here in Vancouver, or
no, and that's what makes it interesting. We can't pretend that we're in Mexico and that we're going to do a cookie cutter idea of what a Mexican restaurant is.
Right.
I mean, we're from the north of Mexico. We're not from the center. We don't come from a place where there's this huge variety of ingredients. So we always have to get creative with one or two chilies, with one or two things. So, so for us to come here and experiment with new ingredients and take it to it takes its own direction. We can only be inspired by the ideas, the memories, the flavors, the techniques, and then from there take it to the new place. So, yeah. So this is kind of the basics of the ceviche. And then to this, we add our North Pacific aguachile that we just came up with that yesterday, which basically, I mean, with the name, which basically aguachile is a technique that is used in the Pacific coast of Mexico. But in this case, we're going to make this kind of, because it's a vegetarian dish, we're going to add a little bit of this beets and carrots.
And what can we expect to see at the pop-up Mexican market next week?
Well, there's going to be all kinds of people that do different Mexican, this is lime juice, that do different kinds of Mexican products. And they're going to be doing the best of, what you would find in a Mexican market. We kind of invited people to do specific things, and so that there was a lot of interesting varieties. And then at the end, we're going to have as well a lot of artisans and people that do crafts. And then we have the state of Puebla that is visiting with a bunch of crafts as well that they're sending. We have a Cabo as well in Baja visiting us. And also it happens to be the Day of Independence. So the Consul Berenice Diaz from the Council of General is going to be making the call for independence, which is our ceremony for independence. So it's going to be a really cool event throughout the day.
That's very good. And it's going to be at Robson Square next Saturday in the lower level. If you want some more information, you can go to their restaurant website, which is fayuca.ca, or you can go to marketmexico.ca for a lineup of what we can expect next weekend. We'll get you guys to finish this during the commercial break, and then we'll taste it when we come back after that.
I'm good for that. Don't be afraid to use the chilies either.
Yeah, okay.